fifth and last webcast of our web series around how blockchain can foster reliable and sustainable supply chain. We have run over several supply chain use cases in the previous episodes. Product traceability, transparency and accountability between the different actors, and procure to pay. And we will end this series with a focus on IoT and what blockchain can bring to it in our context. I remind you that you will be able to find the replays of each episode on the series webpage, and that you will be able to ask your questions to the speaker through the Q&A panel anytime in this webcast. And we will keep 5 minutes at the end of the session to answer it. So now let's welcome our two speakers for today's episode. Nafissatou, Thierry, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Thierry Battu. I'm the head of, I would say, blockchain and B2B platform, IoT expert, being that field in more than, I would say, 8 years now. Having in mind that started by smart meters, which I consider them as the precursor of IoT. Is that tout? So, as an introduction about IoT, we are used to present that slide, which summarize what are the various components of IoT and which are involved in any business application. So obviously, we always start by the sensors itself, which have a connectivity layer to an IoT edge. We lost the presentation. IoT edge being there to manage, I would say, this connectivity layer and be able, in some cases, to run some IoT, I would say, analytics, local analytics on the edge. Then you will have a connection via a network to an IoT platform, which will be in charge to manage all the devices and the data collection process. At the end, all this data will be delivered in order to be used by any type of business application. That can be analytics, but that can be also actions, and I will come back a little bit later on here. What is key and what is summarized here at the bottom of that slide is the fact that we need to have security and privacy by design on the overall value chain. And this is one of the reasons where we've been starting to look at potential use of blockchain in order to guarantee that security. Today, we have on the market many solutions that allows to cover quite easily from the platform to the IoT edge, which can be implemented by many cloud solution and also by I would say dedicated platform, and Capgemini is providing one of those. But what is more tricky to address is to go down to the sensor, having in mind that you need to have an agnostic platform, because some of the players that provide the sensors will be able to provide such a solution. But if you want to create a multi-sensor, multi-provider solution involving many connectivity layer with various IoT edge, you need to find a solution that will allow us to guarantee that security over the entire value chain for any kind of sensor or solution. If we can move to next slide. So we've been, and you've been, we'll say, talking about supply chain in the previous webinar. Here is an example of one of the solutions that Capgemini is providing, named Track and Trace. Here, as we are talking about tracking high-value goods in order to reduce the risk of theft, the issue about guaranteeing that all these sensors are not corrupted or, I will say, act is a key priority. And therefore, on top of, I would say, before being able to guarantee all the various, I will say, transactions between the various players in that supply chain process, it is key to ensure that all the devices that are used to monitor and track these, I will say, use cases are certified, if I may say it, and secured. And that's one of the, I would say, example. There is many others. If you are thinking about controlling and manufacturing processes using IoT object, it is clear that you want to avoid any intrusion that could impact the way manufacturing process is delivered. If you can move to the last slide, which is the introduction. So as a result, Capgemini has created an architecture referential, which is composed of 5 layers. I will not go in deep description, but it somehow follow the IoT value chain. The main focus will be on the A1 that we call acquisition or IoT middleware, which is here to collect the data and I will say manage the devices. And in this area, Capgemini has created an IP, which is named XIoT platform. Main goal of that platform is to be able to operate all type of devices of all type of protocols in any cloud environment. So that's why we call it agnostic, and it is the only way to address multiple markets and be able to have a central platform to collect and administrate the devices for any type of use cases. And in that context, we clearly identified that due to that end-to-end security, it was key to have a component that will guarantee down to the device, or I would say starting by the device, the security of the data collection process. And this is why we initiated a research that Nafissatou is currently driving. And I will give you the floor, Nafissatou.
Thank you, Thierry, for this nice introduction on IoT and on the Capgemini's XIoT platform. We will now see how the blockchain technology can be a game changer for IoT. Then we will talk about the Gems for IoT project, which use the blockchain technology in an IoT context. So the question is, can blockchain be an answer to IoT issues? As mentioned by Thierry, Internet of Things allows to create value from connected objects, and it is a relatively fast evolving domain with predictions of several billion of connected objects in the coming years. This makes it possible to imagine and explore new applications in fields like manufacturing, smart industry, e-health, and so on. But to take full advantage of all these opportunities, IoT still has to address more or less key issues, including, for instance, scalability and security. Security must be guaranteed at several levels, at the device level, for instance, to manage its identity and lifecycle, at the data level, to guarantee its integrity and origin and manage its access, at the level of exchanges, for example, authentication between devices and gateways. Blockchain technology could potentially provide a solution to almost all these IoT issues, for instance, by allowing to move from often centralized architectures to distributed and decentralized architectures, and thus a better fault tolerance, but also to improve security by securing devices themselves. However, even if blockchain seems to be a solution, other issues can arise from the integration of blockchain and IoT. In fact, the IoT ecosystem is heterogeneous. Devices are often of limited capacity, and the scalability of the chosen blockchain platform is not guaranteed for more or less industrial IoT use cases. And all these factors must be taken into account when setting up a blockchain architecture in an IoT context. Actually, as you can see in the right part of the slide, there are different ways to integrate IoT and blockchain, from considering, for instance, end devices as nodes of the blockchain network to using intermediate blockchain nodes such as IoT gateways. Now, what about the particular case of supply chain powered by blockchain and IoT? We will not go back over all the benefits of blockchain for the supply chain, largely mentioned in previous webcasts, but it is important to note that in addition to minimizing frauds, ensuring product traceability, or improving trust between the different actors of the supply chain ecosystem, the blockchain technology can also be used to secure the IoT devices used along the process. For instance, to identify and authenticate all devices at the manufacturer's site, even before the beginning of the logistic chain and interactions between other actors such as the shippers. Now, blockchain and IoT in the real world, there are many concrete use of blockchain for IoT. We can, for example, cite the example of IOTA, which is a DLT blockchain, a distributed ledger blockchain technology platform, aiming to be an IoT and machine-to-machine economy enabler by proposing, for instance, zero-fee transactions, and by using a particular ledger model, the Tangle structure, for more scalability. And beside those platforms like IOTA, there are also several implementations and use cases that combine blockchain and IoT. This is the case, for instance, of Maru by Chain of Things, or project by NG and Ledger, which propose to use blockchain to guarantee traceability of clean energy produced from some smart grids. Thus, there are several more or less concrete proposals for blockchain IoT combination. The JAMS for IoT project that we are going to present in the following is part of this exploratory and innovative approach of blockchain for IoT, while proposing to take up new challenges and to go further than the proof of concept stage, and with the XIoT platform as IoT support, as previously said by Thierry. Now, what is the JAMS for IoT project? Just a little comment before going on. As mentioned in the previous slides, blockchain can be used for different security needs, both at the data level to ensure its integrity, and also at the device level to guarantee the identity of the device itself and authenticate it. In the following, we will be just concerned by security at the device level. So JAMS for IoT, which stands for Device Identity and Access Management System for IoT, is a research and innovation project within Capgemini DEMS, Digital Engineering and Manufacturing Systems, resulting from some observations. For instance, in addition to the well-known scalability issue of IoT, the vast majority of solutions for securing IoT devices are often centralized, which leads to a low fault tolerance. This centralization often also means a cost of use that is not negligible. And on the other hand, most of these solutions are directed towards particular types of devices, which in fact already excludes some devices. And this can be explained, among other things, of course, by the use of cryptographic algorithms that are heavy enough not to be executable by all types of devices, or integration of an execution environment isolated at the device level, or an identification sham based on a specific communication protocol. And another limitation of the existing approaches is the fact that they do not necessarily take into account the ecosystem and the security issues that may be different depending on the use case considered. Just an example, for instance, it is clear that a home video surveillance system involving relatively light and domestic devices would not require the same security needs as a robotic production line, where the impersonation of one of the main robots could turn out to be devastating for the concerned company. And hence the importance of having a solution that would not only adapt to the capabilities of devices, but that would also offer various levels of security, of identification, according to the needs of the use case. And to sum up, the JAMS for IoT project is intended to be a global response to all these issues related to the identification of connected objects, taking into account their characteristics and the ecosystem in which they live, in addition to integrating an authentication method and an effective access management system. And all this, of course, with the support of the blockchain technology. So what is the added value of blockchain inside the JAMS for IoT project? As we said above, blockchain had just been identified as a first approach for the JAMS for IoT project. Now, a natural and more or less logical question is therefore why blockchain and what value it brings to our goal of securing IoT device. In addition to the immutable nature of the blockchain's ledger, the fact of being able to use a permission blockchain such as Hyperledger Fabric or R3 Corda or Quorum, which is a permissioned version of Ethereum for those who know it, makes it possible to involve all the players of the device ecosystem, like the manufacturer, the customer, in the process of validating transactions and therefore verifying and validating identities of devices. And now regarding the choice of Fabric in particular, this can be explained by several aspects such as its maturity or the concept of channels, allowing to manage transactions in a private way. And in addition, with Fabric's smart contracts, we can more or less automate the device enrollment process and also use those smart contracts as brokers for authentication between the device and its associated gateway. Now, actually, there are two protocols defined in JAMS for IoT, in the JAMS for IoT project, by using the blockchain technology as support. The first one is a device enrollment and identification protocol. How does it work? At first, the device comes with some secret data pre-injected by the manufacturer. Then the administrator enters device info, including some data related to the device lifecycle and deployment context on a user interface platform. Then all these data together with the encrypted secret data will be hashed and stored on the ledger as a device identity, after consensus, of course, but by validating pairs which are hosted, for instance, by the XIoT client. The process is done by calling what we name an identification smart contract, which will carry the ledger to verify the existence of an identity and or to write on the ledger where necessary. And the second protocol is the one allowing to authenticate a device to its associated gateway and thus to guarantee the authenticity of the device at the XIoT platform level. This assumes that the device already has an identity stored at the ledger level. And again, the process will be based on an authentication smart contract and is as follows. It's at first the device sends its public information to the gateway. The gateway queries the blockchain to retrieve appropriate data on device, like the encrypted secret data via the use of an authentication smart contract. And after that, the gateway generates a challenge and sends it to the device. And finally, an OTP one-time password like authentication protocol involving also some public key cryptography and some pre-shared secrets between the device and the gateway will occur between the device and the gateway to authenticate the device itself. And now, actually, these are the two protocols based on blockchain technology, powered by the blockchain technology, and actually defined at the JAMS for IoT project, research project. Now, to conclude, the JAMS for IoT, which is currently in the development stage aims to provide a response to scalability and decentralized identification issues for IoT by taking into account characteristics and ecosystem of devices. And in a midterm or long-term perspective, GEMS for IoT should be able to overcome all the issues such as managing, for instance, the mobility of devices or the flexibility of the solution to adapt to different use cases models according to their security needs. And this is all for me. Thank you for your attention. And Adrien, I give you the floor for the Q&A session.
Thank you, Nafisato. Thank you, Thierry. So if you have any question, you can push it in the Q&A panel right now. I have a first question. Can blockchain help ensuring devices and data integrity, and how to ensure corrupted data is detected and not stored in a blockchain by a well-authenticated device?
Yes, the first question, yes, blockchain can be used to guarantee data integrity. It is one of the native characteristics, if we can say something like this, it is one of the native characteristics of blockchain to guarantee integrity of data by using some cryptographic concept like hashing and so on. So we can ensure data integrity on the blockchain, stored on the blockchain. We can also use blockchain as what we said earlier to guarantee device identity. Donc, we use some information some information about the device. We hash it, we store it on the blockchain, and we consider this as the identity of the device. So, for the first question, yes, blockchain can be used to guarantee data integrity and to ensure device to manage or to give identity to devices. Now, the second question, can you repeat, please?
How to ensure that corrupted data is detected instead of being stored in the blockchain by a well-authenticated device?
I could answer the question here. The point is, as Nafisato said, is to ensure that the device is well identified so that corrupted data cannot be introduced. So this is the reason why we've been working on that kind of solution, is to avoid the creation of any corrupted data at device level or something that will, I will say, fake the device to deliver corrupted data. During the delivery of the data, as it has been mentioned, we are entering a standard, I will say, systems that encrypt the data with multiple solutions to avoid any third party or man in the middle trying to, I would say, introduce false data.
Thank you. I have another question around the technology layer. Have you tested IOTA for this usage in comparison to Hyperledger Fabric?
IOTA had been identified as one of the possible blockchain DLT platforms for these GEMS for IoT projects. And actually, we did not test our prototype, our authentication and identification protocol with IOTA, but just with Hyperledger Fabric. But it is something that maybe we will explore in a more in another version of the prototype. But actually, this is not the case.
Thank you. There is another question. What kind of secret is embedded on the device and that enable to prevent somebody else to read it?
For the secrets embedded in the device, we consider that the manufacturer will embed this circuit on the device by using what is called a physically unclonable function. So it is something like a one-way function that, when given an input, gives you some output that can be considered as the output of a hash function, for instance. So actually, this is what we consider in the identification protocol.
Okay, thank you. There is another question. Is there any first implementation of this solution on pilot or on larger projects?
Actually not. It is still in development phase. So we are developing the architecture, the blockchain architecture on Hyperledger Fabric, and we are also developing the authentication protocol and the identification protocol on the Fabric network. So it is still in the development phase.
Okay, that's all for the question on the Q&A panel. So if you have a last question, don't hesitate to push it right now on the Q&A. If not, we will stop the webcast in 1 or 2 minutes, so don't hesitate. I have another one. How the communication between the device and the gateway is secured?
Actually, at the JAMS for IoT level, what we are regarding actually is the device identity itself, because the communication between the device and the gateway, we consider that it uses some existing protocols like some IoT protocols like M2M and so on. So we do not fix, we do not consider actually this communication part. So we are more interested by the identity of the device actually.
And otherwise, as Nafissatou said, we rely on existing solution based on encryption and keys that will be embedded in the blockchain process.
And the last question, are there IoT security issues that are not tackled by the blockchain and that need to be addressed by other means?
Yes, I can say the scalability issue, for instance. Actually, scalability in general is an issue for blockchain technology, for public blockchains, for permission blockchain, and so on. So even if we say that scalability can be solved by blockchain technology in IoT, it is not something that is that we are sure of. So maybe it will be maybe we will have to consider other possibilities such as blockchain. And this is why I said at the beginning that blockchain was just identified as one of the possible existing solutions or approaches to secure IoT, to give an answer to some IoT issues. But this is not the only possibility.
Okay, so we just move out of the slot by 2 minutes, so that's time. Thanks a lot, Nafissatou. Thanks a lot, Thierry, for this session.
Sure.
And thanks to all the participants for attending this webcast.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.